Hello, it's time for another episode of It's Not About You. We've been talking about selflessness and being like Christ. When we call ourselves Christians, we call ourselves little Christs. How are we doing with that? Are we completely selfless the way Jesus was selfless? He often made biggest sacrifices for society's lowest people. Do we do that? Do we emulate Jesus Christ? He had all the power in the world. He could have called 10,000 angels to keep him from stumbling, but he didn't do that. He never used the power he had to his own benefit. And do we even think of selflessness in that aspect? Do we think of the value of selflessness? This life is not about us. This life is about us bringing glory to God. Once he pulls us, he draws us into that relationship. Our whole existence is to become selfless and share with others what we know to be true. It's that evangelism part of being a Christ follower. Christ did everything that he did, even when he was tempted. He was tempted with real physical things that he needed, but didn't give in to those temptations because he knew that the bigger picture was about being selfless, especially when he was here on this planet. He's been selfless throughout his existence, his eternal existence. He's always been and will always be. And we have to remember that as we talk about the value of selflessness. When we selflessly give, it brings glory to God. And that's what it's all about. It says the chief end of man, in the Catechism, it says the chief end of man is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. And we head towards that end, but we have to do that in a selfless way. This past week, we were talking about the 9/11 memorials and how these selfless people ran into the building to help people out. And that's the selflessness that we've been called to emulate. Jesus said in John 15:13, greater love hath no man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. And we see that in those people. That's a good godly characteristic. That's selflessness. That's the value of selflessness. And we have to have that same value of selflessness. Now we know Jesus was talking about his sacrifice on the cross for each and every one of us to make us justified, just as if we'd never sinned. But it's more than that. Jesus adds every righteous thing he's ever done to our account. And then he asks us to live out a life of sanctification. And that's what we're trying to do. In selflessness, live out a life of sanctification, giving of ourselves, thinking of others more highly than we think of ourselves. So I would encourage you to do that this week. Be looking ahead, seeing how you can be selfless to benefit the kingdom. So for It's Not About You, my name is Pastor Bob Benson. Thank you for taking the time to watch today.